Hey guys, welcome to Yaptime episode 17. I think it's 17 now. I checked yesterday and I was wrong. I thought it was 15, but I had already made 15. I don't know. Well, so yesterday I watched the Minecraft movie. It was pretty good. I actually liked it very much. Like, I found it hilarious. I kept laughing, and I had my headset on, like my Sony headset with like air no, with like noise cancelling thing, because the cinema sounds were so loud, like they were way too loud. I got a headache from just the ads in the like before. So I was just like chilling with my headset on. And I had like the pass through mode, so I can hear everything, but it normalizes all the audio, and I love that feature. Like, I'm going around in the center of my town, and whenever I'm outside, I have the headset on with the pass through on, except for when it's raining, because when like a water droplet tactically goes into the microphone hole, it fucks up the sounds, like the yeah, so it sounds like I'm having a dot in my ear, and it hurts my head because the I don't know. um uh but yeah, I found it hilarious. I enjoyed it a lot, like, unironically. Like, I don't really go to cinemas and stuff, and so I was like, oh my god, it's so fucking epic. I don't know. I was also clapping when people were clapping, because there were people clapping, because yeah. And my one of my friends hated that, and it was so funny because I was like clapping and he was like pushing me with the shoulder. No, don't do that. And like, he was so embarrassed, and that was so funny because it was like, me clapping wouldn't change the fact that the other people are clapping, right? The sounds were already there. I was just another one. I was just playing a part in the experience. But he hated the movie. He hated the experience, and he hated the being there. He said like, "Oh, this would be better if I just sat at home," and like, yeah, I don't know. So he kind of missed out on the fun, I guess. But yeah, it was pretty banger. I There were like three people who got kicked out because I don't know. There were like two or three guards when the chicken jockey uh meme was, and yeah, three people got kicked out. Uh, but yeah, it's a yeah. I really liked it. The graphics though, goddamn, like, I really liked the graphics, even though they look like they don't look like Minecraft. They don't have that vibe. I don't know. It seemed so pretty from like a 3D artist's perspective, I guess. So I don't know how it is for like everyone else who isn't like a nerd about like 3D graphics or something. I don't know. Oh, I was waiting for my meds to kick in. So I was playing some Balatro, and then I I just remember now that I don't know if I have enough space on my phone. I didn't make a long video yesterday, so I have like at least 1.5 hours, and I'm also gonna have to go play saxophone. Oh yeah, saxophone. I discovered that I might need to buy more stuff for it to work. And I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna go to one of my local stores and just get it. But then there were no local stores with the stuff, with the thing in mind. Or no, the thing in stock. There were no, yeah. Um, the thing I was going to buy was the mouthpiece. I was going to upgrade my mouthpiece. So instead of the stock mouthpiece that came with my saxophone, that's like meant to be playable but not like good, it's just there so you have the whole saxophone, right? I think that's the reason. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go and buy myself a new mouthpiece because that might have been one of the reasons for why it sounded so whiny and why nothing that I did fixed it. I think because I do believe that like gear doesn't really matter when you're starting out with stuff, but it can matter to some extent, right? Like if you have like really uh, shitty colored pencils and you don't like how they look, and so you don't draw. If you then buy, instead of not drawing with them because you don't like the colors, like getting a slightly more expensive set of colored pencils that actually have pretty colors, so you're like motivated to draw, that is a good investment because it will keep you playing. No, it will keep you drawing for longer, and you will naturally want to learn more and more when you're uh, drawing and stuff. And so I'm thinking of the mouthpiece as one of those things because I don't believe in ghosts. Now, I don't believe in like getting a whole new saxophone, like that kind of stuff, like getting a more expensive saxophone because I see it like I feel like saxophones are kind of like the camera body, in where the picture quality doesn't really depend very much on the camera body. Like the saxophone body doesn't really matter, I believe. I haven't like looked this up, so I'm completely clueless. Like really, but yeah, I'm believing that I believe that the saxophone is the camera body, and the everything else, like the mouthpiece, the reed, uh, yeah, that's kind of like the lens, and uh, yeah, the lens, because the lens makes so much more of a difference than the camera body. Like you can have a cheap camera body and then an expensive lens, and it will most likely look better than the expensive body and cheap lens. And also lenses are swappable, right? You can like, or they can be used on different camera bodies, but you can't, well, you can also use different camera bodies on the same lenses. But I don't know. I've had a lot of like different camera gear and stuff, and I don't know. It's kind of weird because I like the world of photography and stuff, but it's so easy to get caught up in like, oh, I want to buy this lens because it's on sale. Oh, I want to buy this camera because it's on sale, and like spending boatloads of money on stuff I don't actually need. But then again, I didn't really do that. That's what my grandfather did, and he stopped doing it though because he fell out of photography as well. And I also fell out of photography um because I was starting to Blender all the time, because Blender has photography elements in it. And so I don't really need to go outside to make like renders. And also, I don't really have many friends that would like to be like photographed, and I like portrait photography. That's kind of fun. Um, but I don't know. I That's also kind of why I wanted to make um like stop motion figurines. Like I didn't really want to animate them. Like I do kind of want to animate them, but I know I could animate with like clay, and I can kind of like I don't need those expensive armatures. I know that, but I don't know. I want something that I can pose, right? I don't want something that breaks after like a few poses, because the steel wires or like aluminum wire, you can bend it a few times and then it just snaps, and I don't like that about it. But the armatures, they last so much longer. They do still break at some point, but they last so much longer, and you can like uh tighten the joints, so you can have like you can fine tune the skeleton to how you want. And I really want to do that, but it's so expensive, right? It's like 100 and some dollars for one skeleton, and that's way too expensive for me to begin with. Like, I can't begin on something that expensive because, or at least not in my economic state right now, um, because I would get so upset if I didn't get it how I wanted it, right? Like I wouldn't get it correctly on the first try. I would need to like test out some different methods and some different designs, and I would get caught up in like, oh, I gotta make a cool design. How do I want to make the design? Oh, and then I sit in this loop of like, oh, I want to make it a cool design, but I don't know what I want to make because I don't want to make it boring, and I need more confidence in myself about it, like with that stuff. And the way I give myself, or I build up confidence in that stuff, is by doing it a few times. But it's not like, I don't know, in my financial state right now, it's not a thing that's very friendly to failure. Like it's not, well, you if I don't glue it on and like ruin the thing, I could make like puppets um that have like uh a kind of like a sock around the skeleton, so I could like move, or I could make the internals. No, I could wrap the skeleton with like a cloth thingy, and then have like cotton, like the cotton clouds or whatever, like the cotton filling or whatever, stuffing or something like that. And then I could have uh, an external uh, a piece of cloth on the outside, and then have it like it doesn't glue directly onto the skeleton, so I could theoretically just un oh yeah, and then I could have like velcro, and so like the the I don't know, or no, I think I would, instead of cotton, the cotton filling stuffing thingy, I could use sponges, because I do have a lot of sponges. Like I'm looking at 2 packs of 24 sponges there, and behind there, like I have a huge like IKEA box. Like I don't remember how many liters it is. I think it's like 30 liters, maybe 30 or 25 or something like that. Like it's a lot of sponges, and I could theoretically, if I don't glue them onto the skeleton, but I have them wrapped by a piece of cloth, like clothing or cloth, yeah, instead, and then they're just like the skeleton is just like surrounded by sponge but not glued to it. Then I could take the skeleton out and I could make several characters using one skeleton, and I could just swap them like skins in a game. But I feel like that's also kind of hard or too hard to begin with, because it's I'm gonna have to learn. I'm gonna need to learn how to make it that way. And ironically, like I find so many YouTube videos that don't show me what I want. If that makes sense. Like I see a lot of people having like I'm trying to find those the parts that build up that armature in like separate, like in bulk order. I want to like bulk order them so I could buy them for less, because I know that they inflate the price, because it's like stop motion armature pieces, like yeah, I bet you that if I knew how to Google, like how do I Google ChatGPT? ChatGPT has helped me so much with like Googling, because I get so easily distracted when I look for answers. But I think I've asked ChatGPT like what I can do to lower the prices, and it just tells me about like wire puppets, like with like steel or aluminum wire or wire, and I'm just like, oh, that's not what I want. I want like things that don't snap after like 10 bends. Like I don't want to spend time making a character like a figurine only to have it snap, and then I'm gonna have to be like sad and stuff because like, oh no, it brokey. So that's kind of why I wanna get like stuff, and I also like I got into soldering, so maybe I could um do something with that. And I see like soldering, that like those skills and the equipment can be used for so much more than just what I've been trying to do. And that's kind of fun because like I want to build up my amount of tools and stuff and like equipment to the point where I can make like really anything. And I know that if I were to buy everything at once, it would be so like way too expensive. But me buying like a few tools here and there and like learning how to use them, like one on one, like one by one, I mean, it will be so much easier to use them, because I realized like if I do the same as I did with the musical instruments by like just buying a whole bunch of different instruments at the same time, I don't really I don't really spend time trying out each one. It's more that I end up choosing one and then I put all of the other ones on like standby or whatever. And I feel like that's kind of not very not very good maybe. But then again, I forgot what I was gonna say. Huh. Yeah. Oh, I love natural lighting. I look so much better. Wow, look at the messy, like oily hair. Wow, and the bagged eyes. Wow, I look so much better in this lighting. You know, yeah. No, It's I um my friend is coming over today and watching more Studio Ghibli films, and then we might watch some horror Minecraft. Cause I love there's this guy on YouTube called Calvin or whatever, and he has made like a From the Fog Minecraft Let's Play, and it's a little bad, like looking at it like before, or like seeing the having to wait for the uploads, but if you're watching them back, it's very fun because they're really high production value, at least like or maybe not really high, but they're pretty good, like production value. Like season 1 was, yeah, it was pretty, he was experimenting. Season 2, it was pretty banger, and then season 3, it was too good because we had to wait for so long between each video. And I think he dropped that series because he now is playing like the broken script thingy. Like episode 3 just came out yesterday. And yeah, I don't know, I hope he continues with the season 3 of From the Fog, but I think he got burnt out, or he's trying to like make a car or whatever in real life, and that's kind of cool, like branching out to different things. Like that's you gotta respect it. And I am fighting the annoyance of like, oh, why doesn't he just upload more? I don't care if it's like, if it is super well, it is really good quality videos, like I really like watching them, but I wish that you could like churn them out. But then again, I wouldn't want to put myself in that situation either. Like that's one of the reasons why I haven't really been posting much to YouTube, other like on my main channel. Like the nice thing about this channel is that nobody's watching basically, so I don't really feel like I need to put out videos, and I don't feel like anyone is like, or my friend is listening to these, and it helps very, like it helps pretty much, or a lot, with like having another source of motivation, not just me wanting to talk to the camera about whatever is happening like currently, like what my thoughts are. It helps that someone else is also like enjoying this, but I don't care if like one person or 10,000 people, or like, I think I prefer one person watching these instead of 10,000 people, because that would then be less comfortable. Or at least if like 10,000 people suddenly rush to this channel, and like I went from like 15 subscribers to like 10,000 subscribers overnight, like it would be way harder to make one of these videos. So I don't really want that like overnight fame type beat. Like I know a lot of people see that as like, oh my god, I could just wake up and then I have a million followers, and like, oh my god, that would be so perfect. But I see the problem in that, because you don't know your audience when they have like when they form that quickly, right? If you spend a lot of time building up, wait, I gotta check how. Okay, I have 33% left of my battery. That's fine. Yeah, when you grow your when your audience grows really quickly, uh, like even over like a month, you don't exactly know your audience, or you need to like kind of guess. And if you make the wrong guesses, people could be like, I don't want to watch this kind of content. I only came here for that one video that I thought was funny, and they didn't make another one. I don't want to subscribe, and then you lose like a bunch of subscribers, and that can be very demotivating for many people. Like seeing that, like, even though you've gotten so many subscribers, seeing the amount of people who leave when you post a new video, it can be disheartening, because then you will be like, okay, I can't make another video, because if I make another video, people will unsubscribe, and I don't want the numbers to go down, and that can be one problem. And another problem could be like feeling like you have to throw everything at the wall to see what sticks, because that's basically what you're setting yourself up to, like, or that's what they kind of, like, the rushed audience, like, you kind of gotta experiment, and it has a lot more weight on it. Like, if you make a bad video, more people will dislike it than if you had less people, right? And if you see like, oh shit, this was not the good play, because a lot of people might not, like, I wouldn't, I don't, well, I might like see if, like, if I got a bunch of dislikes and like no likes, that might be a little disheartening, or I might realize like they don't really know who I am, I guess, and I don't think they should like change my opinion on whatever I made. But I think that would it might leave a mark, even though I can like tell myself that they shouldn't matter to me. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to rush getting like, if or I have the belief that someday I will reach my goals and stuff, and I don't need to stress about that too too much. Like, the more I stress with it, it won't, or like the harder I try won't always mean that the higher chance. It's more about how I try. That's kind of how I see it. Like, if I made like a bunch of shitty YouTube videos, where I would improve, and then over a, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing now. But I was meaning more like, if I, oh, I don't even know what I meant. I kind of forgot. Wow, mid-sentence erasement protocol. If I like, I know these videos won't make me famous, because this is kind of like a very, like, this kind of content doesn't really work on YouTube nowadays. So this is like, I know this is meant as an archive for my thoughts. It's not meant as the thing that gets me to my goals. This is a this is an archive. Yeah, it's that's kind of what the purpose of this is. While I can be more and more comfortable, I can get more and more comfortable talking in front of a camera. Like, I'm not very uncomfortable talking in front of a camera, but I'm also like, I don't know, it takes practice, even though you're not uncomfortable. Like, if you even if you are confident in standing in front of a camera, you can always practice and get better. And yeah, there are very little times, or very little situations where I can think and speak, like, not yeah, I'm like stuttering all the time. That happens when I'm like around a lot of people. because I'm processing so much more. Like I talked about this in episode 15, I think. Or I have no clue. Um, I talked about, like, if you haven't seen the all of these episodes in chronological order, how dare you? This does not actually make, like, the order probably doesn't mean anything at this point. The numbers are there for me to, like, understand later on, like, oh, this happened at that moment instead of this being before that. Or yeah, it's easier to look back and, like, okay, this happened before this and this happened before that and stuff like that, even though I could look at the date of publishing. Yeah, I don't know, it's yeah, it's fine. I Oh yeah, I've bought, like recently, or not very recently, like a few months ago, I realized that I could buy frozen vegetables and they actually don't suck that much. Like I watched a cooking YouTuber and he said, like, yeah, you can, like, frozen vegetables are actually pretty good. Like, even though we always, or we often hear, like, oh, you can't, like, freeze stuff because that destroys, like, the things. But then buying fresh stuff is kind of a gamble because I don't know if I'm gonna eat all of it before it rots in my fridge. Uh, and so it's hard for me to justify always buying, like, uh, green, like the vegetables and stuff. Um, but now I've bought, like, a few frozen packages of both fish um, and vegetables. And the good thing is that they're already, like, cut into bite-sized pieces. So the amount of preparation for making, like, more healthy food is way lower, and therefore it takes a lot less energy to get me into a cooking mood, right? And I can, instead of just living on hot dogs for 3 months, I can I can look in my fridge and I can see, like, oh shit, okay, I have this chicken bag of chicken thigh that I thawed in the fridge overnight, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I want to have that because that tastes good. Okay, I also want rice because rice is also very easy to make. Like, I thought rice would be hard to make, and, like, I didn't realize how good it tasted, like, now that I'm more grown up. And I haven't eaten a lot of rice um in, like, the last few years, or every time I've eaten rice, I think it might have been basmati rice, because I don't like basmati rice as much as I like jasmine rice. And I've been, like, I'm not good at cooking rice, uh but I've been buying, like, the boil in bag rice, and it's so convenient. Like, I love how simple it is. You just you don't even need to wash the rice. You don't need to strain, or you just boil up water with some salt, and then you put the thing in, and then you set a timer for 15 minutes, and then you come back and you drain it, and then you have perfectly edible food, like perfectly edible rice, and it tastes so good because it's jasmine rice, and it smells so good as well, compared to putting two hot dogs in the air fryer and for, like, 7 minutes, and putting it into a lumpe, which is like a tortilla made of potatoes. It's a very, I don't know, it's pretty tasty. I like lumpe. I don't really, well, I do kind of like, I do kind of like um, hot dog bread, but I don't buy the like the fine grain. Even though I've heard that like whole grain doesn't really do anything. I heard it from like the guy called or the YouTube channel No Lab Coat Required. Like he was talking about like what's the problem with what's actually the problem with fast food, and he said that the bread was kind of whack because it like the glucose in your blood or whatever, the difference between um like refined wheat flour and like whole grain flour, there's like literally no difference, and the amount of fiber isn't even like it doesn't even change anything. Like the it doesn't really matter. But I do like the like I've grown used to liking the whole grain products more than the fine grain, because the refined stuff often tastes a lot sweeter, and I feel like I get hungrier quicker. While the whole grain stuff, even though if it's just placebo that I'm full for longer, uh, it still keeps me feeling full longer, regardless of if that is like placebo or not. So I do keep eating whole grain, not because I believe it's healthier anymore. Like I realized like okay, it might be a lie that it might be healthier. Like we've all, like I feel like we've all been told like, oh yeah, whole grain, that's so much better. But I think like what I learned is that bread in general is not very healthy. Maybe it's it's not unhealthy on its own. Like if you eat like a spoonful of Nutella and then you eat like a spoonful of bread, you know, do that. But yeah, I think like bread, like in my head, bread would be healthier than a spoonful of Nutella. But they might not. I don't know. I do still eat bread because I love bread, and I don't really care that much. I don't really exercise. I know I don't exercise. I can't say I don't really exercise because I don't exercise at all. Um, the most exercise I get is when I walk outdoors, like every now and then, like Monday and yeah, on Mondays. Oh God, I have nothing to go outside for, and like I know I have, like I could choose to go outside anytime, but the I have more motivation to stay inside and do the things that I like than going outside. And I know like the putting yourself out of your comfort zone is healthy, and like it's good. I still have problems with doing it because knowing that it's healthy for me and wanting to do it is completely different, because I can know how well like I can tell that I sleep way better when I go outside and I get sun on my eyes, like in my eyes, and stuff like that. But it's also like I I don't know, uh, it's I guess it's laziness with like um a a, a need for blender or whatever. I don't even like use blender every day anymore because I'm not burnt out, but it's more like I don't know. I have moments where I'm like, oh, I can't focus today because I'm gonna do this other thing, or I have a lot of days where it's just chaos. I feel like it's not. exactly that it's a lot of chaos. It's more that I can't choose one thing, and I've narrowed it down to like bad sleep or like bad uh like habits and stuff, like going to bed way too late or like sleeping on the couch. Like that has ruined some days before, and I did fall asleep on the couch like yes, like today, because I took my meds way too late because I was at the cinema when I was supposed to take my meds, so I fell asleep way too late, and I also was tired because I was outdoors with people, and yeah, I was also at the musical, no, not the musical, but I was also at the music course thingy. I can talk about that now actually because I'm gonna forget. If I didn't already talk about this, or maybe I don't remember talking about this earlier in this episode. Um. So yeah, we were at the thing. We got fried rice. That was very good. So I didn't have to eat. I didn't have to get food before the cinema, and I didn't feel hungry after the cinema. Even though I did eat a like a thick sausage, like a not a hot dog, but like the more like dinner sausage or whatever, because I knew that if I didn't eat, I'd go like not crazy, but I would go paranoid and stuff because my medicine makes me paranoid if I don't eat. Like I go around like, oh, everything is gonna, something is gonna happen or whatever. Like if it feels really bad and I get so dizzy and can't breathe and stuff. Um, and yeah, so I ate one sausage, and I didn't even do anything fancy. I just put it in a cup and I just ate it with chopsticks because that's the superior utensil. I actually really like I've forgotten how to eat with fork and knife because I never do it anymore. Like I whenever I'm at home, which is like 99% of the time, and like 99.99% of the time I eat at home, right? And those times I eat with chopsticks. Even like, uh, well, I don't really eat stuff that can't be eaten with chopsticks, I guess. So I don't know. I don't, yeah, I only eat with chopsticks because they're, instead of, it's kind of like eating food with your fingers. It's kind of like more intuitive than knife and fork. But instead of like touching the food, which I don't like, I can use extendo grips. Like I can extend my fingers using like the what's it called? The chopsticks. Oh my god, my brain. Um, yeah, no, I can extend my fingers instead of touching the food, and it just, I don't know, it feels so much more intuitive. And I know like people who don't feel comfortable with chopsticks, they will say like, no, knife and fork is more superior because it's not, uh, chopsticks are so hard. But I think people who think that have not had a reason to learn to use, or haven't been able to learn it. And uh, like it's hard to learn something when you don't have like a reason to learn it. Like even a reason being like, I want to learn it because I want to learn it. Like that's kind of why I started eating with chopsticks. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn to get better at using chopsticks, and then I just never stopped because it just felt better. So it's I don't know. It's personal preference, I guess. And now whenever I'm visiting people and like they only have like fork and knife, I feel so, like I feel like a child again because I I can't I don't remember how to hold them properly, and I don't remember how to use them. Like there have been times where I'm like, wait, which hand do I hold the thing in? Because with chopsticks you hold both of the things in one hand and you hold the bowl or the plate in the other. And yeah, it's just so much better because it's all right-handed or left-handed. It depends on like, yeah. So it just feels better because I don't need to like stab. Well, I can stab the food with the chopsticks if it doesn't let me pick it up, and it also feels more satisfying because I can't eat as fast with. Well, I can eat very quickly with chopsticks. Like I don't think about how to move my fingers. I think like, oh, I want to grab that part of the chicken. I don't want to grab that. I want to rotate this, and like, it's the same as when I use Blender. Like, I don't think, okay, I need to press G to move this thing. I need to press R so I can rotate this thing, and I want to rotate by like this amount. I do it because I just do it because without thinking much about it, because I don't need to think because it's built into intuition. And yeah, I oh yeah, and there was also someone who joined my Discord server the other day. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday because I was waiting for the time for me to get ready for the bus. So like, because I was going to the music place before. I didn't talk about music. I I started focusing on the fried rice, and then I started. Okay, before, okay, if I remember, I was going to say, like, can you remember, Nick? Can you remind me about talking about like uh the person who joined the server? But then I realized like, you are not a person, you're a phone. Yes, you listening to this, you are a phone. You are a zombie. No, um, yeah, it was really fun. I met a new person in the music course thingy because I've been there before. I met several new people. There was one more uh, at our age, or I'm saying our age because like I meant more as like the people I was around. But I was well, one of the women were my age, uh, like on my team. So I don't know the new one who was like a participant in the course, not the staff guys or staff people. But yeah, also the musician or like the producer, because there were like there were producers who were going to help us like make songs. And she was pretty cool. She reminded me so much of Aurora. Oh my god, Aurora. The like the I'm running with the wolves tonight. Yeah, she reminded me so much of her, and I think I walked by her one time on the street because I was like, she looked very similar to one woman that I walked by, and I was like, oh my god, is that Aurora? And I told my friend like, yo, dude, I think that's Aurora. And then he was like, oh, okay. We had just been out like photographing with like analog photography for the first time, I think. And then when we walked, when like she was 1 meter away from me, and I saw her from the side profile, and I was like, oh my god, is that Aurora? Because I saw her hair. She had like a really thick puffer coat, like a black puffer coat, and she had like blonde hair, like wavy. oh, it might actually be her because she had the exact same hair. And then when I got home with my friend, we checked, like, because I told like the people in my Discord channel as well, or Discord server, and I was like, I think I saw Aurora on my way home, and they were like, that's unlikely because she was in London, and now she was in London having a tour the like day before, and then she was going to Tokyo or whatever the day after, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe not. But then I remembered her because me saying like, oh, I think I've met, I think I saw Aurora, like that was so ingrained in my memory that when I saw her for the first time when I walked in there, I was like, like the memory replayed, and I was kind of like I wanted to say like, oh, do you have like a black puffer coat or something? Because I think I saw you a few months ago. Because that might have been a little creepy. Because like, how would she, like, how would I know who she is? Like, she wouldn't remember me. Like, she didn't see me and like, oh my god, is that Marius? Oh my god, what? Like, she didn't have someone to associate my me with, right? Um, so she probably didn't acknowledge that moment happening. But since I was like, oh, that's Aurora, oh my god, uh, like that stayed in my memory. But to her, that faded out probably very quickly, and so she probably didn't remember that. Like most likely didn't remember that. But she did like she did have like I don't know how to describe it other than uh she seemed very excited about being on my team. Like the kind of smile she gave off every time, like, and it, like, uh, she smiled in a certain way that my brain was like, oh, okay, she thinks I'm cool or whatever. And, or, yeah, that's how I perceived the smiles and the way she talked and stuff. Um, and I was like, I had to go a little bit earlier because I had to go to the movie, and then I I told her like, may God put us on the same track and cross our paths or whatever in the future, and so we can make more music together. And she smiled in the same way, and I was like, hell yeah. Riss. And then I forgot my magnets. Yep, my fidget toy. I forgot it because the one guy came in to the studio thing we were, and he sat there like I'm not angry at him because he didn't know. He he didn't see that I brought them with me, so he thought they were there because of the music, the instruments that we had gotten from that other room. Um, and so he was fiddling with them, and I saw like, okay, I gotta remember to tell him that I gotta keep, or I gotta take them with me. Uh, and then when I had to leave, I was like, okay, do I have everything? Because I brought my recorder because I wanted to play that for people, and I also wanted to keep that in the music things. And I actually got to have like a recorder solo, and it was so funny because it sounded so bad, but then she pressed like she enabled auto tune on it, and it sounded okay. And I was like, yo, okay, that's kind of funny. And yeah, it was so funny because it sounded so like some of the parts sounded okay, like I got the right tone or like the right note and stuff, and I actually matched the vibe or whatever. And then there were other times where it sounded so sour because I like mispressed the note or whatever, and it, I don't know, it was just so whack. But it was so fun. And I also got to sing the intro to the song, and that was kind of nice because nobody else wanted to, like, nobody else took the initiative, so I took the initiative upon myself. Yeah, no, I didn't, like, I told them that I that I'm still new to like singing in front of people live, um, and that my throat subconsciously closes, like the it strains much easier because uh, I can't relax my throat as much when I'm around people, because it's like I don't want to be too loud, I don't want to be annoying, and that's kind of keeping me back. Because if I didn't learn that, like if I wasn't told that my singing was annoying when I was younger, I would probably um, be less worried about that now, and I would have less problem singing in front of people. But now it's kind of like uh, me being able to sing in front of someone without straining my voice often means that I'm very comfortable around them. Um, which, like, there was one friend I had who was like, anytime I sang, they were like, "Oh my god, can you stop or whatever?" And I would go like, "Oh, okay," and then I got like kind of uh, fed up with them because I don't know. I asked them like, "Do you want to come over or whatever?" And they were like, "Yeah, okay, I can come over at this time." And then they send me a message like, "Oh, I can't this day anyway," like the day off, like, "Oh, I couldn't come today anyway, like I got busy with this." And fine, like one time or two, three times, that's fine. But when it becomes the norm, like I invite them, like I would rather invite someone and say, have them say, "No, I don't have time that day," than like them telling me like, uh, "Yeah, I can come that day," and then they tell me later on that like, "Oh no, I can't come," because then it like it sets up the expectation that they're gonna come, and then they don't come, and then my new expectation for them is that they will say that they will come and they will not show up. And when I started thinking like, okay, they're not gonna come, and then they didn't come, then it reinforced that idea, and then I just stopped interacting with them, kind of, because I was like, okay, they don't really seem like they wanna come over anymore, so I'm gonna stop inviting them. And I even told them that that like, send me a message next time you have time and want to come over. And then they said like, yeah, okay, and then never asked me to come over. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna just disconnect from that person now. And I don't really have that much problem disconnecting from people. Like that happens very naturally to me, or for me. Like I don't, I don't know, when I like having routines while like meeting people routinely, and then whenever that routine fades out, I I don't really have a natural need for like uh, fixing a fading friendship, because I feel like it's not always worth it, because like if we both don't want to hang out with each other anymore, it's kind of like, okay, I'm not gonna waste energy on worrying about that. Like if it if it's a dead friendship, it's a dead friendship, kind of. I'm very good at making new friendships. Like I'm very good at meeting new people and like finding people who I enjoy being around, but I'm pretty bad at like maintaining them long term. And I don't know, it might be like an autism symptom of autism or ADHD or whatever, and or it might be like people coming and going throughout my life and learning, like me learning to not get too attached to people. Like my parents getting divorced like really early has probably like impacted my like the something about like connection and stuff, like bounding bounding with others, or what's it called, like bonding with others. Yeah, it might have changed like my inner chemistry, like my brain chemistry about that. Like seeing, like I don't really see the point of marriage anymore, because I don't believe in like uh, one person will match me for the rest of their life, because that seems like imprisonment type stuff. Because like people change, like ideas of what someone wants to achieve changes, and I don't want to be held back by someone like having thoughts of like who I should be or like what I should do. And I don't want to hold anyone back either. Like I don't want to keep someone from doing what they want to do. Like if if they want to do one thing and I'm like, no, I don't want to, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to, like if someone for example wants to go like cave diving or whatever, like if I cared about that person, like I wouldn't let them do that, because it's, I've seen so many like videos of people like dying and stuff, and I, if I really cared about that person, like I wouldn't want that person to like go and die in a cave, right? Like I wouldn't want them to be safe and stuff, but then I would kind of be holding them back. And so like I, oh yeah, 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 if I were to hold them back, it would kind of like make their life a little harder, maybe, because they wouldn't be able to do what they wanted to do. And then it could also go the other way, like someone telling me like, no, you can't sit and do blender like all day, you gotta like do stuff. And like, no, but I want to make art and stuff, right? Like if I ended up in a marriage where the other person is like getting bitter because I'm always like chasing my dreams and stuff, like living a daydream or whatever. Um, uh, I don't know. That's also from the perspective of like me not having that much relationship knowledge or like experience. Like I don't really have. I don't know. I've I think I'm very confused when it comes to like what being in love feels like, because I don't know. I don't know if I've really been in love or if I've wanted to be in love, but I've thought like, because I did think for a long time that like the feeling of friendship was feeling in love, kind of like if I felt like I was a good friend with a girl or whatever, like I thought I was in love with them, and then only to like ruin the friendship because I would go like, oh hey, I really like you, and like they would feel uncomfortable, and like the friendship dies. And yeah, and so I've kind of just stopped trying to race. I don't know, like I've stopped. Sometimes I feel, yeah, no, I feel like all of the time or most of the time I'm unsure of like, okay, is this person interested in me, or is this just me being unsure? And it's it's a little hard to know, because to me it might seem like they're flirting with me, but then they're actually just being friendly. And Yeah, that might also be the part of autism, because like understanding others' intentions is sometimes very hard. Um, so I believe that might have something to do with it. Uh, so yeah, that's kind of the negative sides, but it's also kind of nice because, well, nah, because I can think of someone like, oh my god, they love me or whatever, they want to like want to they want me or whatever, and they then suddenly like one day when I meet them again, they have like a bad day or whatever, and I'm like, oh no, they hate me or whatever, and then, like, oh my god, I why how could I have been so foolish to think that they were in love with me? Oh, and then I go home and like I get sad about it, and then I next time I meet them, they have like the same